Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 564 of the DrunkNerds Podcast. I'm as always, I'm Tyler, and joining me we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, bro, Chacho?
Oh, dude, I'm feeling pretty good right around this time. Just got done listening to some classic
Yeah, we
Madden
did. Yeah, we
soundtracks
did.
from back in the day. Dude, for those listeners, man, you have not experienced a Madden game unless you actually have like some of those classical not classic music per se, but like these classic soundtracks from
It's
like
Beethoven
Madden's
to
like
us.
from the middle 2000s and stuff like that because it's totally different than what we go through and like have nowadays over the past 10 years. I'm just going to say it out there right now. Madden over the past 10 years has not had stronger soundtracks than what was going through from Madden's like from the mid 2000s, dude.
Yeah.
It's like night and day. You got things like Good Charlotte and stuff like that in Madden
Green
2003. You
Day,
got like all sorts of
Seether,
these Green
Ozzy,
Day,
Foo
Seether.
Fighters.
Yeah, exactly. I know, right? It's so fucking crazy in that regards to where it's like they get like some random Joe Schmo or something like that, or some like indie singers or something like that to come on to Madden and stuff because, well, hey, we can't pay for the extra rigmarole stuff just to get this music or this artist or this thing, you know. I was like, but no, man. Other than that, though, I'm doing fairly well. I've been playing a ton of AEW Fight
Goddamn
Forever,
right.
and man, that's like I'll speak a little bit more about it in a bit, but at the same point, yeah, it's a pretty fun game, and it scratches that classic wrestling itch that I've had for quite a while. So yeah, it's pretty fun. But how have you been
I'm
doing,
doing alright,
Tyler?
clanging and banging as always. Yeah, I'm with you though. We spent like a good hour plus just reminiscing and going back and like listening to old soundtracks and old songs from like 15 years ago, and like we went back and like when did they just stop trying with the soundtrack? And we figured out I think it was like 2014, Madden 2014. Really, once we got to like
Yeah.
literally the PS4 launch one, Madden 25 was what they called it. But it was 24. It was the 2013 Madden. It was like the first one where it was like it's like no offense to them, those people. It's just like it's a bunch of people you've never heard of, and you'll probably never hear of again after that.
Mhm.
Yeah, like this is fun going back, and it's always fun to go on little nostalgia trips. Listen to some Bubba Sparks, out there. We and listening to some MVP baseball 2005. Listen to some Walkie Talkie Man, the Vaughn Bodies. It was a great time. I had a great time with that one. It's always fun to kind of just put some good vibes, good feelings into the little bank there for you that everybody needs every now and again. So it was a lot of fun doing that. But no, I'm doing all right. It's a nice having Tuesday off. Got day off for 4th of July. Um, Made it a weird week. It's hard to complain about getting a paid day off, but it's like we're going to work Monday and then having Tuesday off and then going back to work on Wednesday. And I was like, oh fuck, it's just fucked up the whole day. Somehow this week felt like a month, even though um, I guess I didn't really work. I still worked my day. I had to work my day off on Wednesday, but um, it was weird. It was just weird. Anyway, it was just weird. It was a weird week, Gables, but it was fine overall. But finally, I played some more games, but played a bunch more Final Fantasy 16, which I'll talk about a little bit more later. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it because I'm talking about it a lot. But finally, Gables, I said a couple weeks ago, I just need everybody to fuck off for a while, and I just haven't had the chance. No one's just listened to me and just fucked off. And finally, today, for the first time in like 6 weeks, everybody just fucked off, and it was great. And I just played a bunch of Final Fantasy 16. Uh, I was doing pretty good for video for listeners. If you're watching the video version on Spotify or on YouTube, I got a new T-shirt here. It's a limited edition here. You can't buy it anymore. It's a picture of Phil Spencer saying the console wars is a social construct, which we've been paying attention to the FTC versus Microsoft trial. That was something he really said, and it's pretty fucking funny. So you can't buy the shirt anymore. The Jeff Grubb and Mike Manani podcast, they put this out. And then people got Xbox got mad about this shirt, so he took it down because it got crazy. But I was able to get one before he took it down. But I don't regret the purchase. Um, but yeah, it just came in a couple days ago. I'm pretty happy about it. But yeah, no, I'm doing pretty good otherwise. But if people don't know, every week Gables and I get together and we talk about video games. So if you're liking all this, you want to know more from us, or you want to keep up with what's going on with this, follow, subscribe, check out if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, click like I said, if you click that like button, it's right over there by Gables junk area. Just click on that. He really likes it. Really likes it if you do that for him. If you're on Apple Podcast, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are on, we are probably on that place. Just search for Drunk-Nerds Podcast. You'll find us there. Leave a 5-star review. Leave a comment. Facebook, Twitter, search for us there. There are links in the descriptions down below of pretty much everything, including Extra Life. It's a cool charity that Gables and I do every year. And it's weird, Gables. I was thinking about, I just thought about this the other day where I was like, I haven't thought about Extra Life in a while. And the last couple months has been pretty crazy for me from a personal standpoint. But man, I was thinking about we are it's crazy. I mean, I know it's 3 months away, 4 months away, but it's crazy to me. I just didn't feel like we're getting there. But Extra Life, great charity that we do. We play video games 24 straight hours, usually the first Saturday of November, and we raise money for local Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Easy for me to say. So check that out. Check all that stuff out. There, like I said, there's a link in there for the website. Not even our personal pages, just a link to the website. Check it out. We've been doing it for over a decade now. It's a really cool thing. But anyways, Gables, it's been kind of a slow week. Not a lot going on. So I was thinking about it the other day. I messaged you about it earlier today. What could we do this week? And I thought about it. And back in February, we predicted what we thought our top 10 games of this year would be, including not in the order, but we did predict what our top 10 would be and what we thought our game of the year would be. And I went back and I found the podcast. It was February 18th that we did this, Gables. And like I said, we predicted our top 10 games for what we thought would be our top 10 games of the year. That'd be kind of fun. We are now a little past halfway point of the year.
Yep.
And we pretty much, I think for the most part, we know all the big stuff that's coming out this year at this point. We've Summer Game Fest is over. We just had the Direct a couple weeks ago, so I don't really feel like anything big is going to get announced. Stuff might get delayed still, but that'd be kind of fun, Gables, to look back on our list and maybe do a little, if you're people that play poker, you get the 5 cards. And you get one round to everybody, take out the cards that you don't want, throw them in there. You get a fresh couple cards. Yeah, I got 5 cards here. There's 2 I don't like. Throw them out. Get 2 new cards. Maybe it's a better hand for you. Maybe it's a worse hand. Who knows? But we thought it'd be fun to go back and kind of reshuffle our list here. And maybe there's some stuff that we want to take out. Maybe things we thought would be higher. But we said at this point we did it February 18th. A lot of shit we didn't know was coming this year. And
no,
there's stuff that's on our list that didn't live up to the expectations, or stuff that's on our list that doesn't look like it's coming out this year. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of run through our list real fast here. On February 18th of this year, Gables and I predicted for our top 10 list here. Like I said, I'll start with Gables' list here. He predicted Resident Evil 4, Like a Dragon Ishin, Sea of Stars, Octopath Traveler 2, Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6, Fire Emblem Engage, Dead Space, Spider-Man 2, and he predicted that his game of the year would be Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. For me, I predicted AEW Fight Forever, Atomic Heart, Final Fantasy 16, Replaced, Spider-Man 2, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Hi-Fi Rush, Dead Space, and I predicted my game of the year would be Resident Evil 4. So that's what we had written down. Gables, it's now July 8th as of this recording. Do you want me to go through my new list, or do you want to start?
I'm going to have you go through your list here. I got to step out just for a moment, but I'll be right back.
So, this was tough. This is tough because obviously you're trying to predict the future, and also some new shit. There was shit on my list here that when I predicted this, there was games that I played now that I had zero interest in before they came out, and then now they're out, and it's God damn, that's one of the best games I've played this year for sure, and it's got to be on my top 10 list. I'm just trying to buy time until Gables gets back. It's walking out a bad time, walking out a bad time. But this. I mean, we did a podcast a couple weeks ago about this could be the best year of all time, and I'm I kind of made a new short list of okay, here's shit I played so far. Here's shit I think could be in my top 10. at the end of the year, and I'm like, fuck. I can do a whole nother top 10 of really great games from this year that I've already played, or I probably will. That if everything was the hype of just what we think it could be, not even exceeds it, just lives up to what we think it could be. Like, there's legitimately a really good top 10 list you can make, and you start to make some pretty hard cuts after that. But yeah, it's man, what a goddamn year. Video games are cool. It's just never ending. Um, man, just having a great time. Great time. You know, just hardest part, honestly, right now is just being able to play these fucking games. You know, you know what? I forgot to do a time code. I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to put that. I forgot to put that in there. I'm sorry. For listeners, Gables walked away, and usually he's only gone for like a minute, and I can kill enough time until he gets back. And I'm just running out of things to talk about here. I want to wait for him to get back before I talk about some of the shit because like you know it's like obviously the fun we don't know what his list here, you know. So I'm gonna be reacting to his list. He's gonna be reacting to mine. But I will say before we get into the like I did take out 3 games off my list that from my initial top 10 list. So like I said, my initial top 10 list, I picked Resident Evil 4 to be my game of the year. Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2 replaced, Final Fantasy 16, Atomic Heart, AEW Fight Forever. One of the games I took off my list replaced. I'm super pumped for that game. That's a Ukraine-based studio. That game just come out last year. Obviously, everything's going on in Ukraine, Russia, and everything. Doesn't sound like the game's probably coming anytime soon. You know, it's been shown off at Summer Game Fest and Xbox. It's gonna be a Game Pass game day one. It was shown off 2 years ago to come out, and then for Xbox, and it was supposed to show off last year for Xbox, or for Summer Game Fest rather, and they just couldn't because of everything going on, and I'm just gonna assume it's not happening this year. That's one of the games took off. Atomic Heart is another game that took off because I just didn't like that game that much. I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's like a 72 on OpenCritic, which that's fair. It's one of those games like you're gonna vibe with or not. Like it's definitely like um, I went in with like you know that Eastern European like style. I really love this alternate. I'm a sucker for like alternate universes of like you know like if like this could have happened in the past, like how things could be different now. Like that's why such a big fan of Wolfenstein. It's kind of like it's a great on top of being just a great game and a good story. Like just like the alternate universe of like if Nazis had won, what could have happened? Kind of shit. And like it's ridiculous, obviously, but like I like how like they fill in the lore of like how things happened. So I really thought some car hit me on that funny bone. Also, like kind of they look a lot like a Bioshock style game, and it was fine. Another game I took off my list here, and this is tentative because I've only played it for a handful of hours. I talked about a lot last week. I played it for a few hours, and I have not gone back to it. AEW Fight Forever. Gables has played a bunch this week. He'll talk about it later. But you know, I played a good chunk of it last weekend, and I have not gone back to it just because it's been so hard trying to find time to play video games that I just Final Fantasy 16 is such a huge game that I really just need to tackle because I don't want like after coming off Zelda, it took me over a month to beat that, and it's like I don't know. Final Fantasy 16 is a game I just want to like um, that game's gonna take me probably 60 hours, 50, 60 hours, and I'm just like I just need to when I have time to play that game. But all right, Gables is back. What's up, buddy? Welcome back. I've been stalling for time since you've been gone. I mentioned
Yeah.
there was so on my list I took 3 games off. I haven't said the list yet,
Yes.
but I took 3 games off from my February 18th list. Took off Replaced because it doesn't sound like that's happening.
Okay.
Atomic Hearts I just didn't really care for, and AEW Fight Forever I took off my list. Um, Obviously
Oh,
it's
okay. Yeah.
tentative because so I was telling our listeners here that I haven't played the game since last weekend because I've just been solely focused on Final Fantasy 16. That
Yeah.
I just need to get that off my chest here before I jump back into anything else. But here's my predictions for what my top 10 of 2018 or 2018, Jesus Christ. I saw the
2018.
I'm looking out I wrote down July 8th up here and I was looking at the 2023 um, list here. So, Resident Evil 4 is on my list. I had that predicted as my game of the year for this year. Gables, I don't even know if that game's gonna make my top 10 list this year. And I love that game.
Resident
And I
Evil
love that
4.
fucking game. It's a
Not making
remake of one of my favorite games of all time. That game is
Huh.
fantastic. I love the game. Couldn't put it down. This year's so good, Gables, that one of my favorite the remake of one of my favorite games of all time might not make my top 10 list of this year. Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Dead
nuts.
Space is another game. I love that game a lot. It's on my that's what I'm picking here for my top 10. Hi-Fi Rush is I would say currently right now to me, like of games I play currently, there is it's a 4 game race to what could be one of my games of the year, and Hi-Fi Rush is one of those 4. Another one of those games, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Absolutely adore that game. First time I've enjoyed anything Star Wars in a very long time. Uh, Spider-Man 2, we haven't played yet, but if it's as good as Spider-Man 2018 was, it's a Game of the Year contender. Final Fantasy 16 is one of the third of the fourth games here I'm going to mention that is in the 4-man race to be my game of the year. Currently of games I played, that's also my list here. Alan Wake 2,
Right.
if that game lives
Okay.
up to the hype of what I think it could be, it's on my list. A game that was scheduled for release that I played now, but was not on my original top 10 list because I just didn't care at all about this game. Wolong Fallen Dynasty.
Oh yeah, you really
I
got
put like
into that one,
40. I
didn't
put
you?
like 10 hours into the demo, put in like 40 hours into the main game. That's how much I like that game. So
That's crazy because you don't put really into anything in terms of Souls
mm,
like related type of.
first time I ever actually got into a Souls like game. Yeah, there's another game here. Another game I haven't played yet. Mario RPG.
Oh,
So
that's right. Mario
those are
RPG.
so far 9 of the games. And the game I think, as of right now, with the option to change my mind later, that I think will be my game of the year for 2023. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that is leading man when I wrote this list out. If you come back to me in 30 seconds, I might change my mind. But as of when I wrote this list, that's what I went down with. But like I said, it is July 8th. I have the right to change my mind for later. Uh, like I said, that's my top 10 list. Gables, run through your list again real fast. You predict.
All right.
Do you have it written down? Or do you want me to say it?
Well, I actually got the little I got the little thing right here. I think you got it like a reverse order here when you send it to me over Instagram here. So it's like I got this is not going to be any
No.
type of order here. So I got Dead Space remastered. I got Fire Emblem Engage. I got Street Fighter 6. I got Final Fantasy 16. I got Sea of Stars. I got Octopath Traveler 2. I have Spider-Man 2. I have Like a Dragon Ishin. I have Resident Evil 4, and I have Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. And you
All
predicted,
right,
and just real fast, you
so
did predict that Tears of the Kingdom would be a game of the year. Yeah.
yes, I did. I did, and it's definitely going to be kept on the list right at this moment in time because I still need to finish
You
Tears of the Kingdom.
fucking bitch.
That's the that I have like over 20 hours of that damn game,
That
and
ain't nothing,
I'm at this
Gables.
point where
You
I
might as well. You've even played this. That's like not even a tutorial. Come on.
oh I understand, dude. I mean, comparing that like with Breath of the Wild, where it took me over like close, yeah, like a little over 100 hours just to go forth and beat that game because I wanted to go through and get all the points and all this and that. Yeah,
I
I
was over
understand.
40
This is just
hours
like
in
a
before I beat
chunk.
the first goddamn temple. You son of a bitch.
But it sounds like to me I just need to blast through the story mode
No,
stuff of
you
that
don't.
game.
You need to enjoy that game. It's fucking wine. Get some wine. Get some cheese. Get like what's that? The cheatery board. Cheatery board. The board with the cheese and the meats and the thing that's fancy board. I bought my parents one a couple years ago for Christmas. They love it a lot. And you drink wine with it. I don't fucking know, Gables. Um, I don't eat cheese. The only time I eat cheese is if it's inside a brat or on a cheeseburger. That's it. Uh,
Or you're watching the Packers.
Gables, I'm gonna admit. Can I admit something to you real fast? I'm
What?
not a big cheese guy. I'm just gonna say it, Gables. Cheese, kind of
What?
overrated.
Okay.
Anyways, your game of the list prediction.
Oh, this is so rich coming from the cheesehead. But still. Okay. I know for a fact Tears of the Kingdom's on the list, but the games that I am going to take out, let's see. Like a Dragon Ishin, I haven't had any type of chance really to indulge and try to actually play that one. Let's see. Octopath Traveler 2, I'm not sure if I'm going to have time because there's a couple other games I want to play more than Octopath Traveler 2. Let's see here. Right at this moment in time, I'm going to take out Fire Emblem Engage because I've only played it for a little bit.
Wow.
Quite on. Right
Okay.
now, that's exactly what it is. A lot of these long-term RPGs or something like that, I'm probably not going to be able to finish by the end of this year because of other games that are going to be coming through here. Okay. So I got one,
Took 3 off.
2, 3, and I know there's 3 off so far, but I'm probably going to take off one more. But that's just the thing about it, dude. No, I'm gonna stick with 3 this time because it's like I know I'm gonna finish Dead Space remake. I'm going to finish Resident Evil 4 remake, and for goddamn sure I'm going to finish Tears of the Kingdom before this damn year is up. But the 3 games that I'm going to be like inserting into the place that I believe is going to be on my list is going to be probably probably Starfield.
Oh.
Probably Starfield, maybe. It all depends if this thing is good. Armor Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, I would probably think would be on there because it's basically from the friggin' like Elden Ring, like the Dark Souls people
Can,
and stuff like
can I have
that.
another
So
hot take for you, Gables? They just put out like a
what?
5-minute trailer, like just uncut video of the
Yeah.
game. Looks all right.
Yep.
Looks okay. That's why I said it.
Oh, you're still having that PTSD stuff when you were playing Elden Ring.
Let's not talk about those
And,
days. Let's not talk about those days.
and the last one, I feel like the last one is going to be like Super Mario RPG for
All
me,
right.
probably.
All right.
Because that's the thing that I love that game. I know what to expect from it. I want to see what has improved with this
Okay.
game. It looks absolutely amazing from what I've seen so far. So I think Starfield, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, and Super Mario RPG are going to make it on this Game
All
of the
right.
Year
So
list. So let's see.
your current list now would be Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man
Uh-huh.
2, Dead Space,
Yep.
Street Fighter 6,
Yep.
Final Fantasy
Yep.
16, Sea of
Yep.
Stars, Resident Evil 4,
Yes.
Starfield,
Mm-hmm.
Armored Core 6,
Yep.
Mario RPG.
Yep.
If you had to predict on July
Yep.
8th, Gables, what do you think of those 10 would be your game of the year?
Yeah, that's. Now you see, when I made the list before, that was easier. But for this one, there are literally like about 4 or 5 that probably would contend
There's
for
like
Game of the
12 for
Year.
me, though, for game of the year. This is bullshit.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying like on
Yeah,
this
no,
list
yeah.
in general,
It was
it's
hard to
like,
go. Yeah, I'm gonna find some bullshit way to like get myself out of like making a top 10 list this year because it's not fair.
But out of that and stuff, I firmly believe that Tears of the Kingdom is still going to be my game of the year.
Okay.
But I need to play through that. 16. I got stuff I want to play, so it's going. It's going.
Gables, just want to point out, Dead Space, Final Fantasy 16, Resident Evil 4. Those all games are out right now, and they're pretty beefy games here.
Yes, they are.
You only got like 6 more weeks before we get into the bullshit. You only got like 6
I
more
know,
weeks.
right?
Tell
You want to know what's even crazier? I didn't even add in Metroid Prime Remastered, dude, because that thing was amazing.
Yeah, I thought for sure that'd be on your top 10 list. This is a.
It's I don't know, man. I mean, it's getting to that point and stuff because of how strong this year has been that even like top tier games that I would think would be shoe-ins like in the top 5 or like even like my game of the year stuff in past years are not even going to make the cut this year. Is
Super
just
Mario
insane.
Wonder
Super
coming out
Mario
this year.
Wonder, I mean,
So yeah,
that could be a banger that could like replace like freaking Dead Space for all I know. I mean, I don't know. I
yeah,
still need to
it's
finish these games. I still want to
we
play
yeah
these
we
games.
yeah like yeah it's just wild. Like I was saying a couple weeks ago, like I can make a top 10 list, and just like if you gave me like I could do a really great top 10 list just from January to June releases, and probably doing their good top 10 list from July to December,
Mm.
because this is how good this year's been. And Yeah, like I usually have like two or three really great indie games on my list, and I played some good indie
Right.
games this year. You
Well,
know,
yeah.
playing Alana, stuff like that, Ravenlock, and I'm just like, fuck, man. I don't know. Like Oxfree comes out next week. I'm so pumped for that fucking game. Uh, and it's like I don't.
Yeah, you see, Planet Alana, I played like a little bit of that. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I still,
I love that
you
game.
know,
So good.
that game is definitely fairly easy to go into and stuff. It's a lot easier to grasp and stuff instead of like, say, maybe playing some Ravenlock. I pretty much kind of got a little like turned off by it initially and stuff. That
Yeah.
and also the case of like Benedict Fox and stuff like that. That
I heard the
one
game
was,
wasn't very good. Yeah.
yeah, it kind of turned me off like
Yeah.
after about a couple, like maybe like an hour and a half or something. I'm like, I'm done with this.
Ravenlock was just like it's one of those games that just hit me at the right time.
Uh,
Kind of game where it's like I don't have to like it's like, it took me like 3 hours to 100% it, got all the trophy, all the achievements, and
huh.
um, it was just like one of those. It's like it's super easy. It's not like the story's whatever. It's just Alice in Wonderland, but it was like sometimes you need that pellet cleanser coming from like a big game or like I just beat Star Wars. It was like right between Star Wars and I played a little bit of Redfall and I didn't get this shitty taste in my mouth, so I played Ravenlock and then that led me right into Zelda. So it's like it was just that perfect game to like get me between big games. Um, so like you just need games like that every now and again. It's just wow. Gables like next week we have Extra Primal and Oxenfree 2.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I feel like I'm like 2-3 weeks away from beating Final Fantasy 16, and like, as excited as I am for fucking uh, Extra Primal and Oxenfree 2, but like, Oxenfree it's a single player game. I'm gonna play through it. It's probably a weekend. I'm gonna love it. I'm sure. Extra Primal is gonna be one of those games like as much as I've been hyping on that game up, I understand what that game's gonna be. It's gonna be like a really, I think it could be like a really good 7 out of 10. It's gonna be a great 7 game. Um, but that game's gonna be like big for like 2 weeks maybe, and then
Yeah.
everybody's gonna move on. And I'm worried I'm just gonna miss that window. And like that's my concern because I really want to
Is
be in this game like day one. It's coming to the Game Pass. I'm pumped for it, but I'm like, god damn it, man. I'm gonna miss the win. I'm gonna play it like August 1st, and it's just gonna like there's still be people playing it, but it's gonna be like the hardcore people playing it, and like god fucking damn it. That's what's gonna happen. It's not gonna be fun for me.
this definitely gives off the feeling of this game's probably going to be popular maybe for about a month and then it's going to be
Yeah.
ignored.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got like the Street Fighter 6 stuff coming soon and stuff like that, but like in the
Oh
fall.
yeah,
But
dude, don't even get me started about that, man. I'm excited to try out Rashid. I'm going to be going through that character pass stuff when it keeps on updating and stuff. But I saw that trailer for Rashid and stuff for Street Fighter 6. He looks fucking
yeah,
good.
well, I was talking about them adding the Street Fighter 6 characters to Extra Primal.
Oh,
Um,
oh yeah,
yeah,
that too.
but
I mean, I
yeah,
know those ones, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it sucks. Like Extra Primal's like I've been championing that game for like over a year. Like I think it's just been me and Capcom championing that game, and I'm gonna miss the fucking game at launch. I'm letting Capcom down, you know. It's like I'm letting everybody down, you know. It's like
Dude, if anything, that game's probably gonna be like a fun little like BS game or something like that we play during Extra Life, because that's what it kind of sounds like it's gonna be.
every year I feel like Gables we like we're gonna play through an extra life, and then we just never do, or it's
Yeah.
like unless it's Resident Evil 6, like that's just like every year we just like then we're like oh we're gonna play this and then we just never doing it. Although last year like you and me we just been playing like the same like one game throughout the entire day last year.
That's
So
the first time the both of us have ever actually
yeah
have done that,
yeah
especially me, because I was not expecting to get as engrossed into God of War as I did over fucking 24 hours of
yeah.
God of War
You didn't
2018.
even finish the game either.
I
That's
didn't
what's
finish the
crazy. But
game until like the next couple days or something like
yeah
that, but it was
yeah
amazing.
yeah. Like I think I played the fuck did I play Bayonetta 3 and Mario plus Rabbids. That was like all I played for 24 straight hours. Um,
Here's a
so
fun
is
fact.
it
Here's a fun
what?
fact. And this is gonna be related for like related to God of War and stuff. So unbeknownst to you, I have a folder on my PS5, right? And I have a lot of these games with some added on to there, and it's entitled The Ginger Chronicles.
You
And
fucking asshole!
and so what
I'm
I've
so mad.
done And so what I've done is compiled a whole bunch of like the games that I know you've said and recommended to play, so that way I don't forget and I put it right in there. and I go and I play little bits and pieces of these games.
I've been saying for years, Gables, that you buy games that I love, play them for an hour, and then stop just to infuriate me. And now I know for a fact it's real.
I don't do it just to piss you off. I do it because I'm gonna forget which these games I'm gonna.
It's got to be like 200 games at this point.
No, it's not 200 games.
20?
But one of the biggest ones I got out of the way was God of War, so that one
Yeah.
I can
Now
cut.
he's gonna get you to play the fucking sequel.
Ragnarok, I know, right?
God damn it. God damn it.
Oh.
I want to see. I need a screenshot of this list. I need to see it. I need to know. Actually, you know what? Don't send me the list because it's gonna make you mad all over again. I don't want to know. I just rather not know.
Oh my god. Oh, I do love the PSN, like the PS5, like folder stuff. I mean,
It's great. It's really great.
It's great, dude. Like and all this
It
other
was
stuff.
great.
But...
Now I hate it because I didn't know there was like a Gables has got like a hit list against me here of games that Tyler loves that I won't play. Fucking son of a bitch.
Oh, it's the games that I want to get back to and finish, but like I just, I keep forgetting.
I'm gonna get blackout drunk tonight so I can forget this moment ever happened. Let's just move on. I'm too upset. I'm too upset now.
Okay.
What the fuck, Gables?
Oh.
Anyways, I don't know. Let's just move on for that. Microsoft thinks a PlayStation Slim is coming this year.
Right.
For $400. So this came from the trial with FTC and Microsoft. So this isn't like any like leak stuff like that that's going on here, but this is from Microsoft that came up from personal documents of theirs. So this is what exactly what it says in the document that came out. PlayStation likewise sells a less expensive digital edition for $400, which is that smaller black version that doesn't have a disc drive, and is expected to release a PS5 Slim later this year at the same reduced price. So it says further later on in that same document, Sony's also, so all this is actually before they revealed the Project Q, which is the handheld thing.
Yes.
That looks like PlayStation Ultra handed a DualShock, cut it in half, Ultra handed it to a screen. So from this, Microsoft says Sony is also anticipating to release a handheld version of the PS5 later this year for under $300, which obviously under $300 could be anything. Could be $299.99, could be $100. So anywhere between there. So interesting, but we've talked about there's been rumors of that. They also there's rumors of like the AirPod things that they're doing, which was also revealed at the same time. So like I mentioned, the PS5 digital edition is kind of like the Slim already, but that is $400. But it's been a long time since I've seen like updated numbers for it. But you were able to like at a certain point see like how much the base PS5 and the PS5 digital edition has sold. But it was like it was like at one point like 10-1. Like they're pretty much just producing the $500 one, and then the digital edition was harder to find. And I don't know how many they're even making now. I think it's still mostly just based off the main edition. But
right.
What it sounds like here is going to happen is, and we talked about, there's been a lot of rumors the last year or so about the PS5 Slim. We've heard rumors in the past about a PS5 Slim, and it was coming probably this year. That's what it sounded like, and there'd be a digital only one. And kind of the idea was it would eventually phase out the base PS5 model. So we'd have this model, and there was that detachable disc drive that you can buy, and sometimes there'd be a bundle for it, or you could buy it separately. So if you were someone that bought that $400 edition already, or you buy this PS5 Slim later, if you're like, fuck me, I wish I would have bought this, I just would have bought the disc drive. Now you could just buy this additional thing for it. No idea what that price point would be or anything like that, but that would be an option at least. And Something we've heard a lot about is there's been a lot of rumors about the PS5 Pro coming next year, and what it kind of sounds like here is going to happen is they're going to eventually phase out the PS5 model, the $500 edition that we know now. Kind of like what we've seen with the Switch, where they've kind of phased out the $300 edition Switch,
Yeah.
and now you can either buy the Lite or the OLED edition. So we have the
Yep.
200 and the 350 edition. Sounds like kind of what's going to happen here is like they're going to phase out that $500 edition. There's going to be the Slim option when you can buy the detachable hard drive, and then next year they're going to fully phase out that $500 edition and come out with the PS5 Pro. Obviously, with that one, we have no idea, is that going to stick at 500 or is that going to be 550 or 600? Now because we're at this point now where PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles have now raised the prices up in other countries throughout the world to like around 550, whatever that is, in their dollars in other countries. Then we've seen the Switch, obviously, like they with the OLED edition, they retroactively raised the price $50 for that one. So kind of seems that's where we're going with this. No idea of like maybe this is like a backdoor way of bringing the price back down to what it was. Like it's a price decrease, but really it's going back down to what it cost before in other countries.
Yes.
But maybe this is a backdoor way of them raising the price here in the United States as well. I don't know. It was like how you feeling now? 3 years in, getting that Slim, and then possibly the Pro next year.
I think this definitely more aligns with what Sony has done in the past with previous iterations of their systems. I mean, it makes sense that they want to go and put out the slim model because they want to phase out that digital only edition and stuff like that, especially if it has like an option for a detachable hard drive and stuff that you could buy separately if you truly wanted to play physical game discs and stuff on it. I mean, that replacing the 399 lower end option for the PS5, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense also for a PS5 Pro or something to take over the reins of the original model. I mean, the original model and stuff is what pretty much like people were definitely sought after when it first launched and stuff like that. But when it comes to Sony's lifespans for creating like their initial consoles and stuff, if we go up on the track record of say with the PS3 and the PS4 and specifically and stuff, it was around this time and stuff when they introduced say the PS4 Pro and like
2016, yeah,
the
3 years later.
yeah, and then like the PS3 Model 2 and then like the Model 3 after its life cycle and stuff. So it's like this is definitely going along the patterns of what Sony has done in the past to produce hardware. The question in mind and stuff is if they when they do eventually put out like say an equivalent of a PS5 Pro and stuff, is that going to be a disk drive based device or is that going to be another
Yeah, the
detachable
Pro would
thing?
be a disk drive. Yes. So like yeah, that would have that built into it. So
Okay, that's smart consumer wise because you want both options. You want a digital only thing, and then you want a disk drive. And for people who want to buy the cheaper option but want the disk drive, they can do that too. That would be incredibly smart in that regards. But yeah, that's how I kind of feel it's going to happen, dude. Where it's like, I feel like this is the time that Sony is going to announce this stuff this year for at least the Slim. Next year for the Pro, I do agree with some of the rumors going through because that sounds a lot more believable, sounds a lot more plausible. As far as say the original PS5 right now, they'll I feel like that thing is going to be phased out. I want to say late 2024, at least around that September October range, because I think Sony themselves are going to announce, okay, this is the PS4 Pro or something that's going to come out and stuff, and then they'll just go through the rest of their stock and stuff. They won't even announce that the original thing is going to go out right away. It's going to be like another Nintendo, like with their base Switch model and stuff, to
yeah,
where they just have the handheld and like the OLED and stuff.
yeah.
The
They just
yeah,
they just stopped making new ones, and it's like whatever.
yep,
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you. Like so, I went back and I looked, like how so they going back to the PS. Like it's obviously you can't judge people. I always see people judge like, well, this is what Nintendo did with the Wii U going to the Switch. It was like you can't compare because the Wii U was a failure, going to the Switch, blah blah blah. People are trying to compare what Nintendo's going to do going to the new consoles. You can't compare those
yeah,
anymore. Totally different
right,
things. Um, with the you can't. Oh, it's not always 1-on-1 here. PS4, I guess, PlayStation away. going 4 and 5, kind of in the same boat here, where they were just dominating Xbox. And I mentioned the sales numbers to the we've seen some sales numbers for the Xbox Series consoles. From the latest numbers we have from both, I mean it's like almost 2-1 PlayStation to Xbox still. So
Yes.
fair to say they're kind of dominating. That's not me being a fanboy or anything like that. Like, love all the consoles, all that stuff, but it's kind of where we're at. So it's kind of in that same boat. Like you look at PS4 to Xbox One, it's about 2-1 at the end of the generation. So we're, like I said, same point. But anyways, it was December 7th, 2016, that they announced the PS4 Pro and also the Slim were coming. The Pro would be $400, replacing the price point of the. So they were going to drop
Right.
the. They were going to get rid of the base PS4 model, replace that with the Slim, drop the price to $300 for the Slim, and then the PS4 Pro would be $400. Um, so then the Slim came out about a week and a half later, like September 16th, I think it was. And then the Pro came out November 10th, if I remember. I just Googled it for the podcast, and I believe that was the correct dates here. So about 2 months between the announcement and release of the Pro, about a week and a half between the announcement of the Slim, being of the announcement and the release of that. Obviously, at this point, we're not gonna, like the way these things are selling, and they're just now finally becoming the market. Um, they're not dropping the price. We've seen already the Switch, like that was like 5 years in. Like, no, actually, we're going to raise the price. And we've seen last year, PlayStation raised the price. Xbox just last month raised the price. So I think at this point, like I said, I believe what's happening is real. Where it's gonna be $400. It's gonna replace the digital edition, which doesn't seem like that's really happening much, anyways. And yeah, I agree with you. Where I think the base PS5 model will probably just still producing that at least get through the Christmas. I believe I'd probably just get through most of the next year. And then when they announce a Pro, assuming that probably, because you don't want to announce a Pro until, I mean, the thing is with these, you don't want to announce them until they're pretty close to coming out, because not only you're going to,
Right.
like, shit's going to leak, even though it's already leaking right now, but like it's going to leak even more. But also, you don't want to announce, hey, in 6 months, we're putting out a better model of this version. People are going to buy it. They're going to wait, So you at least want to get to the holidays. You want to wait. So it's like, I agree with you where, um, we're probably gonna still get those base models, but when that Pro comes out, that's it. It's gonna be Pros, and it's gonna be the Slim. And I do like the idea. Like, I don't know how it's gonna look. It's probably not gonna look great having the detachable disk drive, but like
Right.
it's a better. I mean, it's better than like, fuck, I regret buying this Slim and I can't buy disc for it. Well, now I have to
You know,
spend. Go ahead.
okay, so I just thought about this, and I think this would make more logical sense here too. We know that Spider-Man 2 is going to be coming out like in October and stuff like that. What if they were
Go with
to
the Slim.
Sony announce Slim, like say at that September, and then they'd have like a bundle with that for the PS5 Slim and stuff,
Yeah,
and there you go.
yeah, that makes most sense. Yeah, like in yeah, you do a bundle, maybe like charge 450 for it, or maybe just like, hey, pack it in for free kind of thing to boost the sales of it. Because you take the loss on people buying Spider-Man, but you're gonna make way more money back because people are gonna be buying console games digitally.
Because it's the cheaper alternative
Yeah,
and stuff to
it's
the initial
cheaper, but
PS5.
also people have to buy games digitally. Well, not have to if they have a detachable version. Um, and you're gonna make that money back. Like, that's, people always talk about the Series S, where like Xbox is losing money on that Series S, but if you are stuck buying games digitally, they're going to make that money back. Like, we always hear about like consoles selling at a loss because
Yes.
it's a loss leader, but they make the money off selling the games. So yeah, that's it makes sense. You look like Nintendo when they released, like when they released the Lite, they released it with Link's Awakening. When they released the OLED, they released it with Metroid Dread. So
Yep.
yeah, it makes sense. That's actually a really good point, Gables. I didn't even think about that until you said anything. Um,
It also aligns with what Sony's done in the past too. I mean, they've done like certain like bundled things for their games before. Hell,
yeah.
look at even the PS4. With the PS4 Pro, I think it was, and stuff with Spider-Man. I want to say.
No, it's 2016. They didn't have anything at launch, but I remember there being a deal at a lot of places where you can get. There was two games. I can't remember. when I bought my PS4 Pro a couple weeks after launch,
Right.
and you can get there was 2 games that come with it. You could pick one, and Final Fantasy 15 was one, and I can't remember the other one. But there was 2 options, um, but yeah, you got 1 game for free, and that was kind of like their like holiday bundle.
Yeah,
Um,
man. I'm just trying to remember like which version of PS4 it was that had just like that customized Spider-Man PS4.
that was that yeah that was the red one with the you can buy the collector edition one.
Right.
Yeah, that was yeah. They had a bunch of collector edition. When they remember they had the PS1 looking PS4. Um,
Yep.
they only like so many of. But yeah, there was the red one, but it was only a base PS4, which sucked.
Ah,
Because it
I
came
see.
out that came out in 2018. That one did. Um, but yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it makes sense. I'm just curious. Like to me, it's like, how much is that Pro gonna cost? Like, is it gonna be 550? Is it gonna be 600? Because I do think like now I think during 2020, with everything going on, they wanted to make sure that like there's gonna be 500 or 600. They made them 500. Now I'm sure like they all look at it like they regret. I mean, they could have made them 600 and they would have sold. And we know they would have sold because people were paying $2,000+ on eBay for these things. So
And this is exactly what's going to happen this time around, to where you're going to have scalpers buying this thing up, so Sony can justify going through and putting a $600 price
yeah,
tag, even though it's hilarious to us because they tried to do the same thing years ago with the PS3 for 599 US dollars, and now it's coming back into effect to where it's like the PS5 Pro potentially could be a $600 device.
yeah,
I'm
yeah. But I mean, $600 means something different in 2023 than 2006. But
absolutely.
I mean, it's still a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of money no matter what time it is. But um, it just now with the scalpers and everything like that, it's like we see this going on with everything right now. With like tickets to like concerts, stuff like that, or like any sporting event, like those prices have gone way up post COVID because of how much like we've seen people like scalpers making more like second hand market are making more money than the people putting on the show. So
Yeah.
we've seen the prices of these events going up and up of like 3-4 times the amount what they were in 2019 because just scalpers like this is the way they combat it. The secondhand market is like, well, we just make the initial price super high. People won't pay crazy much more for it. So we just seen with the Taylor Swift concert tickets, like people were selling them for 6 times the amount than what they paid for them. So um, yeah, it sucks that we're kind of getting fucked over by shit like that. But I don't know,
Yeah.
it sucks. It's but I don't but like I said, they probably know they can get away with it. And we'll have to wait and see. I just wonder, like, the PS4, Xbox One era is so different because those consoles came out underpowered. Um,
Yep.
at that point in time, they're like people were saying like, remember like Digital Foundry was talking about they're like 2 years behind the PC market. Typically, when the new consoles come out, they're at least a year or two ahead of the PC market. And we see that with the PS5 and Xbox Series consoles, where those were like more powerful than some of the top end PCs. Not all of them, but if you wanted to spend multiple thousands of dollars in a PC, it was more powerful, obviously. But like a affordable PC for people, it was ahead of that. It was ahead of that, and it's kind of crazy. Like, and also you had in 2016 you could sell 4K. Um, my thing is like, what's the selling point? Unless I'm doing like every game was like 4K 60, what's the selling point? Like,
That's a good question. The selling point is going to be the deciding factor of
uh,
justifying a $600 device. I mean, you can't just put out like a supposed PS4 Pro, give it more storage or something like that, and then all of a sudden expect people to buy it if only you have to tout as like 4K and 8K compatible. I mean,
yeah,
that's just how
and 8K is
the
a pipe
PS5.
dream at this point in 2023. So
Well, absolutely, unless they were trying to have an option store where you can unlock certain frame rates inside of certain games. I mean, it's more complicated than it seems right now.
yeah,
But we'll see what eventually they do for this supposed Pro when they do hopefully go through and maybe unveil something of that sort.
yeah. Like in 2016 they also had the HDR, which to me HDR is more impressive than 4K.
I
Um,
agree.
so I mean we already see like if you have a TV that has variable refresh rates (VRR), you can already do 120 frames per second with the base PS5 or Xbox Series X. So yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. Like I'm not. trying to poo-poo the idea, but I don't know. I was like totally against the PS4 Pro and Xbox Series X, or Xbox One X, initially. Sorry, um, and I was wrong. I bought both of those things and I loved them for what they were. So I don't know. I am willing to be wrong again. But let's move on here. Gables,
Yeah.
this is more you. Sega Genesis announced their games for June for Nintendo Switch Online. Oh, I'm
Oh
sorry,
yeah.
Nintendo Switch announced games for Sega Genesis. I said it backwards. For Nintendo Switch Online, for June, we have here Ghouls and Ghosts, rather, Revenge of Shinobi, Landstalker, and Crusader of Senti. This is all out now. That's for the expansion pack. Any of those do anything for you?
Actually, all of them do because there's a good reason for that. Is because each one of those games are absolutely crazy good in regards to the Sega Genesis collection. So, like, now Crusader of Senti is well known around the circle for like major Sega Genesis fans. Is that is one of the more expensive? That's one of the most expensive games to find like used, as well as like trying to buy like find the thing with its box and like everything else complete. It's like I kid you not, it is fairly pricey, at least over. I want to say over like that $500-$600 range, maybe. But that's the thing about it, man. It's like it's pretty much kind of like a Zelda clone in and of itself because it's basically a Link to the Past, but it has other types of stuff though. But the game is pretty good from what I've seen of it and plus what I've like heard from other players and stuff like that. But Ghouls and Ghosts, that's an excellent game. I mean, Landstalker, that's a great Genesis game. It's more kind of like it's kind of like more like a top-down sort of RPG-esque type of game and stuff that kind of reminds me a little bit like a kind of not like Diablo or something like that, but it has that sort of like over-the-top style and stuff of like action like RPG sort of esque type of stuff. And then oh my gosh, what was the last one here? There's four of them.
Landstalker, and Crusader of Senti.
Okay, Landstalker and Crusader of Senti, I just said. Let's see, Ghouls and Ghosts, I've already
Oh,
said.
and Revenge of Shinobi.
Okay, Revenge of Shinobi, that's a classic, man. I mean, I love the third one of that, but like the original still holds up pretty good. I mean, it's a solid action game. I mean, it's definitely like not as difficult as like say the third game. I mean, Shinobi 3, that thing's a masterclass on the Genesis. That's like one of those games where you play. That's like one of the all-time greats for that system. But the original and stuff still is fairly enjoyable. It's still a good game in its own right. And what's kind of hilarious about it, and it's just kind of unrelated from everything and stuff. The second game in that trilogy was a Game Gear only game.
Makes sense.
But yeah, those that update for NSO for the Sega Genesis stuff has been fairly frequent, and also it has been fairly surprising in terms of the quality games
Yeah.
that have been shoved onto that service. I love the fact that more emphasis is being put upon like some of the lesser known games from that system because you have millions of players now that will go through and try these games out now instead of like bar because they have to pay so much just for online or something. But like say if it was like on the Wii's virtual console, for example, some of a lot of players probably wouldn't even give it the time of day because it's
Yeah.
not Mario or Zelda or this or that though. But I feel like this is the case though, where the Sega Genesis has like is getting closer to eclipsing some of the Nintendo consoles, like for the NSO online stuff, in terms of how many good quality games there are on that stuff. Because holy shit, there is a freaking ton of awesome Genesis games on NSO. But yeah, man, I mean, I just can't wait for more updates, not just for the Genesis, but also in terms of like the Game Boy Advance, because I'm really looking forward to seeing any more Game Boy Advance updates.
Yeah. Whenever they announce Pokemon trading card game, you're just not gonna see me for like a month. So prepare for that. Next up here, there's some other stuff here. Xbox and Bethesda will be at Gamescom. That's at the end of August. So interesting there. Street Fighter 6 has sold over 2 million units in its first month. Um, they are expecting to sell over 10 million though in its
They're expecting
lifetime.
10, yes.
Yeah. Street Fighter 5 is the best selling of all time at 7 million, which is pretty crazy because that was a PC and PlayStation game only, and no one really liked that game. So interesting there. Um, Marvel. Sorry, gee, I'm like combining things here now. Mario movie. The Super Mario Brothers movie is coming to Peacock on August 3rd. So if
Ah,
you're someone like me, it's really been really frustrating. Gables, like I want to just rent that movie like digitally.
yeah,
And that game has been like available at like Redbox. The
yeah,
movie has been available at Redbox for like 2 months now,
yes.
and but it's not like it's not you can't rent it digitally, which is weird. But you can buy it. You can only buy it, which is so I'm like I'm not gonna pay $20 for this movie because I'm gonna watch it once, probably not even enjoy it and just move on. So now I'm excited. It's hey, I gotta wait like 3 more weeks and I'll just watch it on Peacock because I already have Peacock. Gables is smiling at me. So did you buy this movie? You looked over your shelf and then you looked back and you smiled at me. I'm gonna bet you bought this movie and you didn't watch it.
Actually, I did watch it, and I did
You
buy
watch it and you didn't fucking tell me. Why didn't you tell me this stuff?
it.
This is something we gotta talk about.
Oh, it's definitely something we do need to talk about and stuff like that. I mean, it's a pretty fun movie, I feel.
Okay. When did you watch this movie?
Let's see. I watched this movie like honestly, I didn't know the damn thing came out on like movie thing until like about a week or two after it came out. So I fucking got the movie. I watched it like about a few weeks ago or something, but I
A
forgot to
few
save.
weeks ago. And you didn't think this is important for the video game podcast about the video game movie? The most popular video game movie of all time.
In my defense, I've been under a lot of stress at the workplace.
Not a defense. Not a defense. No defense.
But yes, I have watched the Mario movie now.
Okay, well, fuck you. A lot of revelations in this podcast. He's got a hit list on me on his PS5 to mock me, and now he watched the Mario movie like
I've never
6 months
been to
ago.
mock you.
He, this whole podcast is just a hit list, a hit piece on me.
It's a
Um,
ginger hit.
yeah, it's a hit out on gingers. What the fuck? Anyways, stick with Mario. Mario Kart 8 DLC Wave 5 is coming next week on July 12th. Um, also, Last of Us Part 3 could start filming this year. So there's been some like posts for hiring actors for Naughty Dog, and it sounds like a Last of Us game. Could be what's the whatever the multiplayer game could be, but it seems like it could be Last of Us Part 3. Obviously, that's all rumor stuff. Take that with a grain of salt here. Also, take with a gigantic heap of salt here. Heart attack inducing amounts of assault of salt. Switch 2 dev kits apparently are in the hands of developers. And it sounds like Media Molecule, not Media Molecule. Jesus Christ. The people,
Like what?
the people that who made the Metroid Dread game,
Mercury Stream.
Mercury Stream. Jesus Christ. It sounds like they are the developers that they're talking about there. Obviously, take all this with a grain of salt. I don't want to do this again, Gables. We've been talking about Switch Pros and Switch
Yeah.
2s for like 16 fucking years. And I don't want to go through the things. Remember, like every week there was like different leaked models of the Switch out before the Switch was revealed. Um,
Yes.
so just
And that one model that looked like an oblong thing, that was
yeah,
actually supposed to be
it's
like a
3D
prototype for
printed.
Switch.
Yeah. All I give all props to that person. Like they did such a great job of like taking that picture and even like the reflection off the screen, like making it look like it was taken in like Nintendo's offices. It was incredibly well done. But I just don't want to do it, so that's why I threw it in here. Also, Banjo Kazooie composer said that there's no audience for Banjo Kazooie.
Hmm.
So get fucked, Gables. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I could see where Grant Kirkhope can come up with that. I mean, let's just be perfectly honest and stuff. Banjo-Kazooie was a franchise that was created in the late 90s. They had the original and then the sequel come out in 2000. like around 2000 or so like that. But yeah, the time has really come and passed for like a Banjo-Kazooie 3, even though Nuts and Bolts was supposed to be that, but never was. But I think that there still is a market for Banjo-Kazooie, but at the same time, it would be radically different to the point where I kind of feel like that it's probably never going to come out.
Yeah, I'll never say never, but there will eventually be a new one, um, but I don't think it's gonna happen before Microsoft gets Activision. I'll say that.
Yeah,
Um, Blast up here. You put this in here.
yeah.
D&D game Baldur's Gate 3. There's a controversy going on with this one.
Okay, so basically, I read about this morning and stuff like that. There's just some funny stuff that you can actually go forth and do inside this game. You know, like how inside of like RPG, like D&D, like RPG games or something like that, where quintessentially like you do your own adventures, do all this and stuff. Well, in Baldur's Gate 3 and stuff, they went into details about all these various like type of like not just like romances and stuff like that, but they went into like these weird sort of like kind of fetish level type of shit, you know? And at one of the articles and stuff like that, it's like in a couple of articles, like one that was like on Kotaku, and the other one's got things you could actually like have sex with a bear or some shit like
Oh
that.
yeah, I saw that you can have sex with someone in bear form. Yes.
Yeah, man, I thought it was. I'd be perfectly honest with you. I read that I just had to have a good chuckle about that because it's like it's it's so current day to where it's like you're going through you advertising like a game or something like that to where it's like okay you have action this and action that. It's like what are they going to advertise their game for? It's like oh look at how what type of things we can fuck. It's just
Gables, there's over 170 hours of cutscenes in here. You're gonna get weird at a certain point. I feel like hour 80 of cutscenes, bear fucking just sounds right. And not gonna lie to you, Gables, kind of turning me on.
uh-huh. So you and Winnie the Pooh got to go on and do its thing or something like that.
God damn it! Like I hope Piglet's in the corner watching. You got Eeyore over there, fucking just
Oh my
watching.
god, so many beers in and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, dude. Oh shit. But yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because one, I thought it was just kind of stupid in regards to that and stuff. I mean, to each person their own in that regards though, but I think it's still incredibly funny that it's like inside of like a fantasy RPG and stuff like that. You want to go forth your the whole point, it's like you go on adventures, you go through and just create your own things as you go and stuff. But for Baldur's Gate 3 to have those type of options to where okay, you have polyamorous like relationships, you have the option to where it's like you can go forth and like have like a druid or something like that, or some transform into a fucking bear or something like that. And there's actually detailed type of like almost like bestiality sort of shit. I was like,
Yeah,
ugh, I'm
very
out.
detailed bear buttholes. I'm in. I'm gonna buy this game. Gables, you said it best at the top there.
What's up?
Fantasy RPG.
Not the kind of fantasy a lot of people want to know, but still.
You don't have to fuck the bear, Gables. It's just an option. You know.
Well, that's true too, but still.
You know. Hey, I'm not here to yuck anybody's muck. If you want to watch a human fuck a bear, good for you. You know, that's fine. It's a virtual. It's not even a real bear, Gables. It's not
Yeah,
even
if
a
they
real
want to
bear.
go down to Yogi Bear, I mean, yeah, do all the barrier.
Like, hey, boo boo,
Hey.
you want to see my picnic basket? Pull this to see some jam.
No, sir, I don't like it.
This is getting weird. I'm in. Gables. You know what? Baldur's Gate. I'm gonna buy it just to support this game. I'm gonna buy it on PC and I'm gonna buy it again on PlayStation. Fuck yeah, this game sounds great. I'm in.
Oh shit.
Hopefully you can fuck other animals. Like, can I fuck a frog? What about a cricket?
Oh god.
uh, anyways, let's move on.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know how to move on for that one. There's no good segues. Hope I can fuck Glover. Think I can fuck Glover in that game? I'm gonna fuck every single one of his hands or fingers.
Oh god.
Gables,
Uh,
let's move on what we've been playing. Do you want me to go first? You want to go first?
you know what? I'm gonna have you go first on this one.
All right. I have not been playing much more as far as like other games. It's strictly been pretty much Final Fantasy 16. Play a little more AEW Fight Forever on Sunday, but it's like I'm like 3 or 4 hours at this point. I haven't even finished the Road to Elite yet. I've just it's been so hard to find like time to play games. And like I was mentioning on Final Fantasy 16 is like, I was mentioning earlier in the podcast where it's just so hard to find time to play it, and like it's tough because it's like this type of game is like a game that like it's better. There's so much story, there's so much lore, there's so many characters
Yeah.
in this game. It's almost better to play this in like short, like or big chunks and like short amount, but like very few breaks in between.
Right.
It's been so hard of like I'm pretty much only gonna play them on my days off, and it's like with Zelda, it was like that game's easier to like I can just not play it for like don't have time to play for like a week. Like I play it Sunday, I can't play it till Saturday. Like that game
Yes.
is fine waiting like a week to go back to. And this game, it's like this game is built around the story and the lore and the realm and the characters, and it's so hard to like kind of go in days between. But one of the coolest things in video game history ever, the active time lore, where you can just pause during a cutscene, hit the little touchpad button, and it shows you like all the characters and like even like the areas that you're in, and you can just gives you a little blurb to tell you about these characters, and then also like any updated like things that have happened in the game. And let me tell you, that has saved my fucking ass on more times than I can admit because I was playing like just today. So I finally like Tuesday was like the first time like I got like I've been playing like 2 or 3 hour chunks, but like that was like a 1, 2, which I know is more than a lot of people. I'm sure I know, but like finally like Tuesday was the first time I got to like sit down and like I played that game for like 7, 8 hours on Tuesday. And it was awesome, uh, and like over like 2 or 3 different sessions, and but it was like I couldn't play it until Saturday till today, and today I played for like 4 or 5 hours, and it was so great today getting in. I'm like totally like I ended like right jumping like right before you go into like a big because I knew like Sunday night I stopped kind of early or Tuesday night I stopped kind of early because like this is gonna be a big mission. I just want to like I don't want to stop mid mission because I know it's gonna go late. So I was like going in. I'm like, all right, what the fuck was I doing again? Like, kind of what's going on here? And just like getting to that cutscene, pausing it, hitting the active time lore, and it just gave me enough information to kind of fill in like, oh yeah, that's right. I was doing this a few days ago. So that is a big selling point. The gameplay is great. I'm just getting like this. People talk about like certain movies come out and it's like they talk about like it's Oscar bait. This game is just Tyler bait. It is all the things I love about video games.
It's just
Uh,
fucking Tyler Bate.
it is. I'm just jerking off watching this, playing this fucking game. It is exactly like it is every fucking thing I love. It's like great combat, uh, big, just bombastic cutscenes, hype moments, fan. Just like the music hits, you get the fucking chills, um, and it just keeps getting bigger. It just keeps growing, keeps getting greater. I just got to a fucking big icon fight where you turn into an icon and you find another icon, the big fucking like behemoth, like Ifrit, and I don't want to mention the other one I was fighting, but the music that hit in this, it's so different from anything else. I was like, what is happening right now? It's just like it was like Sonic the Hedgehog, like 3D Sonic the Hedgehog, like almost music popping on. I'm like, this is totally different from anything else. But it was so fucking cool what happened here, and like something that fight like these big moments with the music, just they are just nailing what I love about video games, of just like these like hype fucking moments. Square Enix. I've always said Final Fantasy 7 remake. You just look up the definition of hype, and it's just a picture of that fucking game. I think you just replace that and just put the logo of Square Enix there, because god damn it, like when they like put out their big budget games, they just fucking nail hype. They know what hype is, and they keep hitting it, and it is so like it just keeps like I'm like, how the fuck are they gonna top that? And they fucking top it. It's fucking wild to me. I'm like, holy, like, and like you beat it, and I was like, oh my god, that was fucking crazy. And that was just that was like step one of this boss fight. I'm like, oh my god, it's just it's hard to talk about that spoiling shit. I know, but like I'm being very vague about it. But Mike, when you get there, you'll fucking know what I'm talking about. Or if you've already played that part, you already know what I'm talking about. This game is brilliant. It is exactly what I want from video games. And like I've talked about, I am not this big like fantasy like person as far as um like royal times. Like that is not me. Like usually that's a turn off for me, and like this is like it's so fucking good. I cannot believe like I knew this game would be good, and I like I said back in February this was on my top 10 list, but I was like for me that was kind of a risk for me putting it on my top. I'm like risk. I'm like this is kind of like different for me, but I don't know for a fact, but like I'm pretty excited for this game. And then it's like playing it, I don't know, I'm probably like 25ish hours in, and I kind of looked up without spoiling anything like how many story missions there are. There are 68, uh, and some of them are short, like they're like 20 minutes. Some are obviously like
Right,
a couple
right.
hours. And I looked up, I'm like on like mission like 43 or 44, I think. So I still got a good chunk of the way to go, but I've been doing like all of the side missions you can do. But what's great about the side missions are like some of them are kind of like whatever. It's like go find like go pick 3 flowers for me or whatever. Some of them are bigger. Like, some are obviously more important than others. Um, but like what's great is like you're not getting overwhelmed with like you have 20 of them. You get like a couple in between like story missions, big main story missions, and then there's also like a hunt list that you can go through and you can like fight tough enemies, which is great. And like even like there's more purpose to do the story missions because there's like you kind of earn like this kind of like I can't remember what it's called, but it's like there's like reward points you get, and it kind of raises your prestige like throughout the realm, and you unlock more like you get like certain numbers. You get certain like you beat the story mission, you can earn experience points. Obviously, you get cash, and also you get this like prestige points you can earn. Like you get 15 prestige points, and you go to like this person, like people will send you like better gear to like you can to craft new weapons, or you get more ability points to upgrade your skill tree, shit like that. But yeah, this game is fucking brilliant, and I can't wait to get back to it. Because it's pretty much all I wanted to do today was just play this fucking game. And for a good chunk of the day, that's all I did. It was great. It was a great fucking time. So yeah, awesome. Final Fantasy 16 continue to be awesome. But that's all I've been playing. What about you, Gables?
All right, so basically, I've been playing AEW Fight Forever. That's the game that I ended up picking up because this past week I ended up selling off that Xbox Series S. Got money from that, used that to spend on AEW Fight Forever. And I will say, man, it's like I had a chance to really get in deep with it. I'm actually around 15 hours into this game. I've actually went through and completed like a Road to the Elite twice now, twice with my creative character. I'm now going through right at this moment with Malachi Black, so I wanted to see the difference between doing a creative character and also with a regular star. The difference so far is like with a regular AEW star, you don't have to invest a lot of stats stuff, the gear stuff that you get through doing like workouts and doing dining or doing whatever and stuff like that into upgrading things with your character. I mean, they already have their own set stuff already in terms of their perks and stuff, their skills and whatsoever. But as far as the gameplay goes, I'm really loving the gameplay. It's very reminiscent of the older wrestling games that I've had to experience and stuff, like say No Mercy and also SmackDown's now like SmackDown Here Comes the Pain and stuff like that. And to some extent maybe like SmackDown versus Raw, like 2006, I want to say. Those type of wrestling games held my attention because they were fun to play, their story modes were fine, and like they had options that just kept me coming back and wanting to play more and more. This has that case for AEW Fight Forever. Now, that's not to say that it doesn't have its fair share of jank, because it definitely is some fair share of jank inside of this game. One of it is the pinning system in this game. The pinning system was okay at first because I was like, okay, if as long as I get the momentum of my opponent down to the danger level and stuff, I can just pin them and stuff and do this and do that. But I started becoming a little bit more like frustrated by it when you get up to like say you're like a normal difficulty or like at hard or something like that, and you're trying to mash buttons in order to kick out of a pin, and the you can't like they want you to mash so hard on it in order to try to do the kickouts and stuff to the point where it's like it is so fucking tiring on my hands that
Yeah,
already have
yeah.
like so much shit and stuff like that. It would have been much more easier to have, say, I don't know, like a little bar or something like that at the bottom, so that way you can just time your kickouts and stuff instead of doing that way.
I would like it just like a bar to show like when you're mashing the buttons to tell you how good you are because how
Oh
close you
yeah.
are, how you're doing because like that was my frustration. Like I played one game where um I was dominating this whole match. Like it was like a 2-3 minute match. And I was just kicking this guy's ass. I was playing the computer, and he literally punched me, hit me with a drop kick. I fell down, and he pinned me.
Oof.
And I was like, what? like, I was like, that was the only offense he really got in that entire match. Like, he
Oh,
got no grapples in, he got no signature moves in. Like,
oh,
I like just beat the shit out. Like, I taken 90% of the match, and it was like he reversed the move, punched me, hit a drop kick, fell on the ground, pinned me. I was like mashing the buttons. I wasn't going crazy hardcore, but I was mashing the buttons. It
yes,
was just like I'd like to know like how crazy do I have to get on this button mashing to kick out. Like that's the only thing. I was just
absolutely.
like I don't need the bar thing. I hate the timing thing. Honestly, it just kind of makes it. I don't know. Like I prefer like you wear the person down. It makes you have to like hit it more to kick out. But like I would like to like see the bar fill up so I know kind of what I got to do or how close was I or how close am I. You know.
Right, right. I can actually think of a good like spot during my first playthrough to where you first get introduced to like wanting to like do matches on an AEW Dark. And so the person that goes through and challenges you is like for me it was Sammy Guevara, right? So it's like I'm facing Sammy Guevara and stuff during this week or something before the original like the actual episode of Dynamite where I'm supposed to be doing like the main stuff.
Mm.
So I did the exact same thing that you did. I dominated like him for like a good solid like 2 to 3 minutes and stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like he barely made any type of offense, but all of a sudden he does a desperation roll up and he gets the 1 2 3. I'm like
Yeah.
that pissed me off for a
Well,
good
the roll up
solid five
like doesn't hurt as much because like I've come close in a couple of those like, but that's like a roll up is like that's a sneaky pin. To me, it was just like I got drop kicked and I fell on the ground. He just pinned me. It
Oh,
wasn't even like a roll up thing.
I know, right? But that's just like one example of like a couple of different things that has happened to me, not just in the first run of like Road to the Elite, but like the second run. The second run is where I went and initially captured the AEW tag team titles and
Hmm.
stuff, the FTW title and the AEW World Heavyweight
Oh wow.
title and
Okay.
stuff like that in that run. And the reason why I did that is I literally had to go forth and do the save and quit stuff because I had to redo certain matches and stuff because I wanted to try to get through the gauntlet that was the last final weeks all the way to like Double or Nothing and stuff. So basically, the whole Road to the Elite stuff, you start at Double or Nothing and stuff with a Casino Battle Royale match, and it ends at Double or Nothing to where
Yeah.
it's supposed to be
It's 1 year.
some form for 1 year, quintessentially. And for my creative character, it's supposed to be like culminating with like a World Championship match at the end. But the thing about fatal four ways and like triple threats and stuff, they can be utterly frustrating. And
It's
no
completely
matter what,
random. Yeah.
it's completely random. Regardless of what type of difficulty you have it on, whether it be like, say, on easy, normal, hard, or elite, or something like that, you'll come across the AI doing just basic, like cheap ass sort of tactics and stuff to where I've been inside Fatal Four Way matches on road at like while in the Road of Elite, like Road to the Elite and stuff, where I've started off a match pretty fun or something like that, but because this game is momentum based and stuff, you could defeat your opponent like in like maybe a few minutes, right? And I've
Yeah.
had situations to where I had a opponent like grapple me during the time that somebody had like one of my other opponents pinned the other opponent and stuff, and because I was locked inside of a move, there was no way for me to go forth
Yeah.
and try to break out, like break the pin. Or my favorite, I actually go forth and I do a double axe handle. I physically did break the pin, but the referee still counted 3. That happened a couple of different times. They're infrequent, but yet these are the type of bugs, these are the type of jank that I don't like. But other than that, there have been some like random glitches. I mean, during ladder matches, there's this one time where I tried to do something to my opponent or something on the ladder and stuff, and all of a sudden it's like we're standing in the air and all of a sudden it just drifts all the way down to like the mat. I've been in the underneath of the ring.
I've
I
seen
mean,
that glitch before. I've personally experienced it, but I've seen clips of that image. Yeah, that happening.
oh my gosh. But with that type of jank aside, I've really liked the gameplay of AEW Fight Forever. I love how fluid it is to not only do moves, but also do strike stuff. I do like a bunch of the different aspects of the perks and stuff for different skills and stuff, like doing kip ups and like doing like having these proficiency like strikes and stuff. And then you have characters like Wardlow or some or the Big Show where it's like you cannot do decent like hits or something on them because they
Yeah,
basically take it like Superman or something like that. And it's so much more easier when you get that perk during Road to the Elite with your creative character because now you don't have somebody that's like just repeatedly just going through and just knocking the shit out of you or doing this or doing that. But as far as my progress inside of this game, I have unlocked. Actually, I bought like most of the stuff inside the shop with my own money that I've actually went through and like earned through the game. So I've unlocked like one of the two mini games that I know for a fact. So I got like Sheeta's like a little baseball game or something like that.
oh, okay. I haven't
I've
got that one yet.
already I've unlocked Cody Rhodes, Aubrey like
Aubrey
Edwards
Edwards.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I got those various costumes and stuff for Matt and Nick Jackson plus like Britt Baker and stuff. But I've bought I actually just bought all the rest of the stuff too because at this point I'm like 15 hours in, and so I'm like, I had all this money just stacked or something like that, and I just
Yeah.
bought most of the stuff up. Now all I need to do is really is like to unlock Big Show, Brody Lee, and Owen Hart. Owen Hart's like after 100 matches. Brody Lee is literally like with when you're doing like the whole championship stuff and like inside Road to Elite and stuff. There's actually a chapter where it says the Dark Order and stuff. But Big Show, it's kind of like a weird one to
He's a
where,
pain in the ass.
yeah,
I was,
Big Show's a pain in the ass if you want to try to beat him. The
yeah.
best way you do it is just try to do count out stuff.
Yeah, that's you have to like lose it. Like, yeah, I was like, oh, I don't know. Like I'm fine with like certain like you have to do certain things, but it's like I don't know. You gotta get to like the chapter 3 of this story mission, but you have to like do certain things to get to this point. Like you have to lose X amount of matches to get here. Like certain I don't know. It's just like it's fucking Paul White. All right, come on. Just give me the goddamn guy. He should just be in
Oh,
the
I know,
fucking
right?
yeah.
Okay. So for like, I have, I need to do that stuff, right? But it's what I have done is I've tried out all the different match types and stuff from the exhibitions tags, the three ways, the like the fatal four ways and stuff, the exploding like death matches and stuff like that, which those could be fun. But
Yeah.
let me tell you, going through the lights out matches and stuff and searching under the ring and stuff for different weapons and all of a sudden pulling out the thumbtacks and then just spreading it out
Yeah.
all around and stuff and just slamming your opponent. It feels so satisfying, Tyler.
I like they have the Nike with the thumbtacks in the in the sole of the shoe.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
yeah, they have that. There's even like a freaking football helmet to where you
Yes.
take that, you can go forth and put it on an opponent's head and stuff, and they have like a fucking helmet.
Mm.
Oh my gosh! But one of my favorites is electrified like barbed wire wrapped bat or something that
Oh.
you can get. Dude, if you go into a lights out match, you pull out enough weapons or something, sooner or later you're gonna pull out this electrified sort of like bat or something with barbed wire wrapped upon it,
Oh, okay. I
and
haven't seen that one.
freaking do that and shit.
Oh shit.
But another thing I ended up finding out, Tyler, and this is I watched a YouTube video. I didn't know that you can do this, but inside of a ladder match, if you set up two ladders and stuff, and your opponent's like climbing or something like that, and your other ladder's like too like close, you can actually climb up to the top of the ladder you're climbing and jump onto the other ladder.
Oh. Okay. I haven't done a ladder match yet. Okay. That's news to me.
Dude, I was playing a match with Chris Statlander against Tay Mello and stuff, and this ladder match and stuff, I just wanted to just screw around to see what I can do with the stuff. So I can climb up on the ladder and then jump through the outside and stuff onto somebody. That I can do. It sucks that it's not like No Mercy, the where I could just place somebody on the announce table, climb up a ladder, and just jump through the damn announce table and stuff, doing that way. But yeah, I found out that you can go forward. You can set the ladders on the ring, like near the ring stuff. You can go and like slam them on top of the ladder and stuff. But you can push your opponent over and stuff. But yeah, jumping from one ladder to the other ladder to stop your opponent, it actually was fucking awesome. Because I did that. I knocked her off the ladder. I grabbed the thing, and I just won the match. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Thinking about, okay, like the lights out stuff I've already done. But I tried a lot of the different mini games. The mini games are fine and stuff. The
Yeah.
whole like Penta says like mini game is actually pretty funny. It's just like a little like a Parappa the Rappa style of like rhythm game. Then the Q and A, the whole like AEW quiz stuff.
The
That's
trivia
kind of
one.
the
Yeah.
trivia one. It's kind of funny because there's all these random facts I would not have known unless like say I was really in depth like deep inside of some of the AEW
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
say say Trent Beretta or something like that. What actually wanted to call himself like Plasma or something like that as a
Yeah.
wrestler.
It's like you, but I mean, it's not even like if you just watch, like you get to be like a hardcore wrestling nerd to know some of the shit. It's not even just like if you watch AEW every week since launch. It's like here's just like one of them was like I saw was like where did the idea for the AEW Full Gear pay per view come from? Who named it? And it was like Adam Hangman Page was like the name like the reason the name came from. Like I can't remember what the
Right.
story behind it was, but he came up with the name. It's like why the fuck do I know? Or like one of it was like which of these characters is not from this state? And I was like, why would I know this? Like why would it's like what? Yeah.
I know. It's like random questions like that, it's just a little bit more in depth and stuff. You obviously need to know your stuff to try to answer some of those, but yeah, some of the other mini games were all right as well. There's like about five I want to say in general. I still need to unlock the last one, but yeah, I've done a fair amount inside of this game. I still want to go forth and play through the Road to the Elite that I got currently. I want to see if I can get like an A plus like Road to the Elite thing
Try to
because
plat this game.
possibly. But
Hmm.
I'm just seeing how I feel. Right now, I'm actually tempted to want to play this game a little bit more. I want to see if I can get that A plus for that Road to the Elite stuff. I got an A for my last Road to the Elite
Oh.
thing. I got an A. I actually did get an A and stuff with my creative character. And that involved me having to go. I didn't even win the Casino Battle Royale, mind you. I went and I got won everything else afterwards, including the later part of that Road to the Elite mode and stuff, where you have this freaking crazy ass series of events that leads you to the final match and stuff, to where it's like a fatal four way, right? And this fucking
Huh.
fatal four way is just so bullshit because of like what I've said before. The AI inside of these type of games, they want to do is like a couple moves and try to pin you, and
Yeah.
then a couple moves and try to pin you, and obviously after I literally retried that match like about a good solid like 5 to 6 times before I eventually went and won the initial match after tossing somebody out of the ring, and then all of a sudden like waiting for my opponent to get distracted by the other opponent, and I just pin while they're both outside fighting each other for the 3 count. But I will say, man, having that option to create your own entrances, your own rings and stuff like that, and then like come out with your custom character with like three or more belts on you, that actually does feel pretty gratifying. Because quintessentially, my creative character has all the belts besides like obviously like the women's belts and stuff like that. But if there's one thing I didn't like about this game at all, like kind of abysmal, has been the online matchmaking stuff.
Oh, okay.
I've only tried one, and that was like a casual match and stuff.
Yeah.
Because okay, it's like I'm not doing rank stuff.
No.
I just want to see I just want to test out how this game runs online. After playing Street Fighter 6 and how good the online for the rollback
You
connection.
can't compare Street Fighter 6 to AEW Fight Forever. Come on now.
No, no. What I'm saying is there's a standard thing that I'm looking for in that regards. It at least has to play all right. It can't have too much lag. It can't have too much like all this various shit and stuff like that. But you're right. I shouldn't compare it to that because that's something completely different than say this. But as far as this game is concerned and stuff, that match that I played, there was a ton of lag. There was a
Mm.
ton of timing issues. There was aspects to where I kept getting looped into various stuff, and my timing's thrown off. I could not go through and do like I did like maybe like 9 moves in the entire match. Right, I was playing as Eddie Kingston against someone playing as CM Punk, so I'm like, okay, let's see what I can do. So I'm doing a couple bits of like punches and stuff, and all of a sudden, like it's like my opponent's just like going this way, that way, this way,
Mm.
that way, and stuff because of the glitching and all this other shit. And it made it entirely frustrating. I lost the match. It didn't feel like I lost the match because I was bad at playing that match. It felt like I lost the match just because the game can't keep up with the connection between the two of
Gotcha.
us, and so he has the clear advantage of, oh, okay, he has a bad connection, or who has a bad connection. I'm just going to do this, loop into this, and then it's going to be over from there. And yeah, after that, I just did not want to even remotely try that specific thing. Like, I'm not sure if it was the connection between the two of us or if it was just something like incredibly stupid that's going on with the whole thing, the network. But it makes me least likely wanting to try to play this game online, unless it's
Yeah.
like with a couple of friends, and then
Yeah.
we'll try to do whatever.
Which sucks though, because I hope it's good. Hope if there's any major issues they fix it, because there's that new Stadium Stampede mode they announced this
Oh
week
yeah,
that looks fucking awesome. 30
it does.
players fighting on a fucking football in a football stadium. Uh, I hope. I
So
mean, yeah. Let's hope it works, because that could be fucking awesome if it does work.
yeah, I hope they fix their online shit. I mean, that's something that alongside of other things that need to be improved upon, like the next couple of patches. But overall, my feelings with AEW Fight Forever, this is a good game. This is a good game with a bunch of flaws. It's like one of those games that is a solid 7 for me, but
Mm.
yet it has plenty of there's plenty of things that need to be worked on, but it also has a whole bunch of like good stuff that keeps me wanting to come back and play it.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part of a wrestling game. The worst thing you could do as a wrestling game is make something so completely terrible or something like that from the visual perspective or the gameplay perspective to where it no one's going to want to play it again after they go through the initial like a couple of hours or so of the gameplay. Here I am, I'm like about 14, 15 hours in, and I still want to play a match inside that game. That speaks volumes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely this is definitely the foundation of something good for AEW with this type of a game, because if they really want to sustain this game, they need to make not only just that improvements, but there's got to be more match types. There's got to be more wrestlers added in here. There's got to be a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah. I, they said they're going to support it for at least 2 years. Obviously, depending on how well it sells, that will say whether or not they do that.
Yeah.
I hope they do, because I hope it sells well. I hope it continues to sell well. I don't know how well it's doing, obviously, but I hope it does, because I hope it keeps getting support, because I will keep going back to these new characters. We already have the season 1 characters announced, like Hook, FTR, Danhausen, um, Bunny, a couple other people too. I can't remember who else, but I mean, we already got season 1 out there. We know about till at least August, so um, hopefully it does well. And because this game, there's a lot of promise here. Yeah, there's some technical issues, but it's stuff that like it can be fixed. It's not like this game is
Yes.
broken to the core. It's just like it's weird technical stuff that a couple patches can fix this game. And it's just a matter of how well this game could sell, because and people are
Yes.
playing it, because this game I think you and me easily could be in this game for the long haul,
Yeah.
as long as they keep
Absolutely.
supporting it. So yeah. Um, but all right, I think this will wrap it up for this week, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening. Like I said, top of the show. If you like all this, please like, follow, subscribe. Uh, Search for us at Podcast, Spotify, uh, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, all that fun stuff. We are in all those places. But I was host. I was Tyler.
I was Colonel Gables. Until next time, everyone, play some fun games. I mean, hell, you don't even have to finish them. All you need to do is enjoy, play what the hell you want. And at the same time, I want to wish everybody listening and watching us on YouTube, thank you for tuning in to another fun-filled episode of the Drunk-Nerds Podcast.
And if you have a folder on your PlayStation of games that a friend of yours loves that you won't play to spite him, let me know. Please tell me.
Hashtag the Ginger Files. Anyway.
It's like a porn ripoff of X-Files. Bye, guys.
See ya.